Hello everybody, welcome back again to my channel. Last week I went for my appointment at Luton and Dunstable Hospital in the UK. I went to the obesity clinic to see about having gastric bypass. So in this video I'm just going to explain the process I went through and what happened. So basically it's 3 hours away from where we live, so we arrived about 15 minutes early for our appointment. I left at 6 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't able to eat or drink anything from 10 o'clock the previous night. I thought this was due to having blood tests taken, but this wasn't actually. This was because they like to weigh you completely empty. They call it a fasting weight. So first of all, I was called into the obesity nurse's room. She weighed me, measured my height, asked me questions about family history, my medical history, my reasons for wanting the gastric bypass. Well, for surgery, not for the bypass. She wanted to make sure that I understood all the different options available to me. I was then sent off for an ECG. That was quite easy, just a normal ECG where they put the different monitor things on you and measure your heart and stuff. That came back fine. I then returned to the obesity clinic and I was seen by the medical doctor. Now he did a more thorough examination of me. He checked out things like had I had any previous surgeries, what surgery I wanted to opt for, which for me is gastric bypass. He wanted to know more about my family history, how I tried to lose weight in the past, that kind of thing, just a general thing. He then said that he approved me for gastric bypass surgery. He asked me which surgery I would like. I replied with the gastric bypass. He said that that was the one he would have recommended me for anyway, so that is the one I will be going with. Now the rules in England are, on the NHS, where your surgery is paid for, is you have to wait for a 6 months period to, I don't know why really, but it's the government sort of standards that you wait for a 6 months period, plus the waiting list for that particular hospital is 6 months. He said that I will be called back for a meeting, a multidisciplinary meeting, which will include a psychologist or psychiatrist, I'm not sure which, the surgeon, the medical doctor and somebody else, he said, I can't quite remember, and they will sort of underline and dot the I's. They will then give me a target to lose weight, which is 5% of my weight. So I will then be put on the liquid diet, where you drink milk for 4 weeks and very little else. No solid food at all. This is to shrink my liver. And then about 3 months after the appointment, I should have surgery. So I asked him, should I try and lose weight? He said no, don't put on any more weight, because the weight that they weighed me with last week, that is the weight that they will now go by, and if I go over that I will be expected to lose that as well as my 5%. So he said, don't, if you lose weight, all good, all well and good, but don't go over your weight, don't put on any more weight, because it's going to be hard to lose the weight. He said if I try to start losing weight now, it's highly likely that it will be more difficult for me to lose my 5% weight and to shrink my liver. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. So I'm really no further ahead, other than I'm now on 6 month waiting. So all in all, we sort of worked it out that I should be having surgery in around June 2017. So that's the plan. Whether it goes to plan, I don't know. We met quite a few people in the waiting room and everyone was really chatty, which I've never had in a hospital appointment. Normally everyone's sitting there reading magazines. In other hospital appointments, I've just had people have just sort of put their head down and read a magazine or play on their phones or whatever. You don't have a chatty atmosphere. Well, there it was quite open. We met a man that was 70 who'd had the gastric bypass. He was 23 stone when he had it and was then 12 stone, and that was in a year. So some people have had quite dramatic weight losses. We also met a woman that's been going back and forward to the clinic for 2 years and still hasn't had surgery. She didn't go into details why, she just said it's for a number of reasons. But I'm really hoping that won't be the case with me. I'm really hoping that sort of June next year I am in hospital waiting for my bypass. But we shall see. We're really fortunate to have the NHS, and I don't underestimate at all, and I am totally grateful for the chance to have my bypass on the NHS, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to afford it. I had a stroke and I'm disabled and I'm unable to work, so I just would not have the cash to spend on gastric surgery. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment, and I hope to report back to you before 6 months' time, hopefully. And if you want to keep up with what we're up to and day-to-day things, I also have another channel called the PBs. If you search the PB family, it should come up. That's our family channel where we sort of review things and do vlogs and things like that, so you can catch up with me there. But I intend to post at least once a month, I think, on this channel. So I hope this has been a bit informative for you. I hope that it's helped somebody who maybe gone for their first appointment at the Luton and Dunstable. It wasn't scary. It was quite nice that, you know, it was people were kind and you didn't feel out of place. And yeah, that was my experience. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe below, and I hope to speak to you again soon. Bye for now.